China,
Okay.
fam, they're putting up blue tarps all over the roofs of their houses.
Wait,
guess why?
Blue tarps.
Blue tarps, bro, all over all their houses. They're building it right now. They know something is gonna happen.
Is it gonna be like a big just storm?
Yo, remember Maui?
Oh.
You remember the theory?
Yeah.
How it was a laser that caused the fire, but only the stuff that were blue colored, the blue colored cars, the blue colored houses were not burnt. Check this video out.
No.
In China right now, so many people. Let me show you the video.
They're strategic for that. Yo, China's always
They're smart.
onto it.
Yo, check this out. Look.
China knows.
China knows something the rest of the world does not know. Look, so they have the blue tarps and just putting it all over the houses, everywhere, on the roofs, everywhere. Almost, I want to say 80% of the houses are starting to do it.
Holy smokes.
But think about that. Think about that though.
Yeah.
Imagine it really does happen, and then the houses that are covered in blue don't get touched, because that's literally what happened in Maui.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Ever since I started wilding, none of the girls is foreign anymore. Okay. Now when you ask a girl what she mixed with anything, she like, no, I'm black. Didn't you say you're just black? Okay, you're not foreign, you're just black. Okay.
Well, breaking fuck the news. Hello, everybody. TMZ has just released an article, TMZ of all places, that the bullet that shot Charlie Kirk does not match the rifle of the assailant. There is a new twist in the case surrounding the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. New legal documents claim that the bullet used to commit the crime does not match the rifle tied to the suspect, Tyler Robinson, TMZ has learned. According to the legal docs obtained by TMZ, Robinson's defense team argues there was discrepancies between the ballistic evidence and the weapon prosecutors say is connected to Robinson, who's facing multiple charges, including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, cause of serious bodily injury, and Charlie slaying. Robinson's attorney claims the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives conducted a summary report which indicates the ATF was unable to identify the bullets recovered at autopsy to a rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson. This shit is getting wicked.
Did y'all see what that white granny said about black people at the No Kings rally? Watch this.
Seems like there's a lack of diversity here today. That it's mostly people who look like you and I. And I just
It is not for black people, for people of color to get out on the street. They're at risk when they do that. If anybody's going to get arrested here, it's going to be a black person. It is not safe for them, and they don't need to participate. We need to walk in their name.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I know that's right, Granny. She said, look here, Nate. Leave black folks alone. They do not need to be out here in these streets. She said, this is not their fight. They not the ones who put this orange motherfucker in office. It was white folks. So we need to be the ones to try to get his motherfucking ass out. She said the only thing that's going to happen if black folks come out is they're going to get their ass arrested. And we don't need that. So we going to keep on fighting the good fight because they done fought enough. Nate was shooketh. He was not expecting Granny to say that shit. Talking about some, wow, okay. Then he asked her about voter ID.
What do you think about voter ID? Do you think it's racist?
It's 100% a tactic to control the population and prevent people from voting, so that the only votes so that the gerrymandering can work, so that white voters can vote in white Christian males.
Hell yeah, it's racist. Then he had the nerve to ask her if she had a vote between Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, who would she vote for? And this is what she said.
If you had to vote for a Republican, J.D. Vance or Rubio, which one would you pick if you had to?
I would slit my throat.
Really?
Yeah.
Granny said, stop playing with me, Nate. You know good and goddamn well I wouldn't vote for nan one of them motherfuckers. Go ahead and take me out. If that's my only options, then I'm going to go ahead and take myself out because you got me fucked up. She said, I'm going up a yonder. I'm going up a yonder to be with my love. Before she vote for Rubio or J.D. Vance. Not happening. I don't know who Meemaw this is, but she officially Granny. That's Nana right there. She not Meemaw no more. That's black people's Nana right there. You got allies and you got accomplices. And Granny is an accomplice. She gonna get out there in the field with black folks and put in that work. She not just gonna sit there and talk. She gonna put action to her motherfucking words. Granny said you got the right motherfucking one today, Nate.
Why do we lose our memories after each reset? The theme depicted in Denver's airport is very real. Civilization collapses and burns. Civilization is literally melted down, and there are pockets or fragments of survival. So there's a natural reset, followed by dozens of reset wars. Cities become empty. The children of the Aboriginal remnant are hoarded into orphan asylums. And these incubator babies, these orphan train babies, these clones, are used to repopulate those cities. That's why there was so much child labor. Generations of clones raising clones, each generation knowing less than the last one. As depicted in this mural, most if not all of the adults are wiped out. Only the children remain. All memory is stored magnetically. In natural resets, the memories are wiped, like a degausser. Only the innate memories and knowledge of self will survive. So children from truly wise parents will have the knowledge of self in their blood. Once people are wiped, their default programs take over if they're from a corrupted seed. This theme is widespread throughout pop culture. Most just write it off as fiction or fairy tales. Art depicts life and life depicts art. The fates are very real. And fairies are just spirit programs, part of the original AI. The following are pop culture examples of how the children of the Reset Remnant are kidnapped and abused, essentially stealing the collective's power to dream up new fates. The dreams of the children determine the course of creation. The Pied Piper theme is very real. This actually happened. Peter Pan is much more dark than people know. Amnesia is the common theme. This is essentially the unconscious reset and reincarnation cycle. It is oblivion. Peter Pan is modeled after the chimeric Greek god Pan. He's part animal, he never wants to mature, and he stays in a pleasure loop. The Lost Boys forget reality while they're in Neverland. It's like falling asleep in a dream perpetually, and they have no recall when they come back from Neverland. And Pinocchio is just as dark too. Pinocchio and the boys get stuck on Pleasure Island, and they become human trafficked slaves, or donkeys. Again, a pleasure loop causes amnesia. It's a theme of becoming a husk on a euphoria pain loop. This movie is very direct about what's going on. A prematurely aging clone steals dream energy from kids to live longer. The clone uses AI to kidnap kids. The clone can't really dream, so he has to steal dreams and feed off the innocence. He eventually gets trapped in a snake eating its own tail loop. You develop a slave and master relationship with your body whenever you resort to pleasure and escapism loops. You become a husk for walk-ins and your dream power is used against the collective. You're essentially a changeling. You then have memories deleted or suppressed, and then you get memories implanted. Look, people already confuse memories with dreams, but the next step is fully synthetic dreams. When you block your dreams, you forfeit your future. You become no different than the children that got led away by the Pied Piper. People get severed from their children more and more as the inner child gets severed for generations. People have become attached to this dream that they don't want to wake up from that they call life, and essentially become stuck in a liminal space like Neverland, sleepwalking us into another reset.
What they had?
Huh?
What they had?
What you mean, who? Y'all government?
Like, no, it ain't just the government, just the motherfuckers on Earth. What they had?
The truth. That them other folks ain't from here, and they came and conquered y'all. Y'all don't know y'all been conquered, and then they put y'all in a system that don't exist. And now y'all wasting y'all life away, and then y'all get reincarnated because you stuck in the cycle.
The churches don't teach this quietness. They give you something to be busy with all the time, don't they? Studying, doing something for the church, going 2 by 2 from door to door, picnics. They keep you busy all the time. They talk about the truth, but they don't introduce you. Jesus criticized all of the religious leaders of his time for having the key of knowledge but throwing them away, not letting anybody enter into themselves. See how he said that? You have the key of knowledge, but you won't let anybody enter them into themselves. That's your fault. Because you yourself, you want to be worshipped as the authority. You want to be put up on a pedestal, and you want to be the direction of people's lives, and they feel important giving directions. You stop somebody on the street. It's, excuse me, could you tell me where Seahorse Avenue is? And they'll, let me see now. They love giving directions. They love being important. They love telling everybody what to do. And even though they don't know how to tell you what to do, they'll invent it. You ask your dad a question, and he doesn't like to admit he doesn't know. One, he'll make you think you're crazy, tell you, shut up. It's a stupid question when it's a sensible one. Or he'd rather than admit he doesn't know, he'll invent something. He'll lie to you, invent it. People are such immense egotists, egomaniacs. They don't like to be wrong. And they'd rather see you dead than admit you're wrong. They'd rather see you confused than to see themselves confused. And they'll confuse you with their confusion. To plant that seed in you and take you away from God and make you a brainchild. And see a person seeking direction from the outside. We've all been traumatized. We're all children of trauma. We're all children of original trauma, seeking the original trauma reassurances from the trauma source. Once you become traumatized, you will seek the reassurances from the very thing that traumatized you. That's why we're all in love with sin.
Over time, the name became Rothschilds, the Rothschilds.
Wow.
It's the same family that's connected to this ancient culture from thousands of years ago, worth $700 trillion collectively. I was on PBD podcast years ago, and he was asking me a similar question. I said, it's the Rothschilds, $700 billion. He was like, that's more than the GDP of a country. I said, I know. He said, there's not that money exists. I said, I know. Collectively, as a family, that's what they're worth. Look it up. And it's all coming out now. All of it is coming out. You can't hide it anymore. And these people believe they're directly related to these ancient beings. And they said that one of the I think it was Evelyn Rothschild said, we have the right to rule over the people. They believe that they have the right to rule over. No, that we're just chatter to them. We're just chattel. We're just goyim to them. We're nothing. All right. And they have the right to rule over us. And that they're directly connected to these ancient beings in some way. But that's who's running and controlling the central banking system around the entire planet.
She wanted to tell the world. Then she died.
Shortly after this interview, she died of suicide. She says disclosure around the UFO story will come out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Disclosure is going to come out. Things get so bad. I'm red storm. Like grabbing that. I don't red storm. Blood boils over me. Oh God, here goes. I lost all from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go. So just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? You see things like from the means out. I know you got me fucked up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a big bullet, baby. Just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted. So glad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes to make mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face and make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit and go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a very
She died. I'm going to tell you all about how she suspiciously went out in a minute. But she's still crazy. And anybody's got anything to do with this stuff in Huntsville, we're wrong.
I'll fucking take smoke, I'm a alcohol review, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your hole to two. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.
The first strike happens. 3 targets.
Wake up early, bitch, I gotta get some move. In my pockets, I got cheese, I got dough. I got product move.